Achieve Success with Wale Agboola.
Good day, you are welcome to Achieve Success. My name is Wale Agboola. Today on Achieve Success, I have with me Rachel Olamide, the convener of Rachel's and Teens. Rachel has been following her passion for years, and she has been pursuing the cause of young people, teenagers, healing them through emotions, going through their emotional healings and different things that has to do with teenagers. And today on Achieve Success, I have with me Rachel. Good day, Rachel.
Good day, Mr. Wale.
How are you doing?
I'm very well, sir.
For some years, I've been pursuing the cause of teenagers, and I want to know, how did you get your passion and burden for teenagers?
Well, from my personal experience, the experience I had while I was growing up.
Can you just give me the experience you had when you were growing up?
Okay, very brief. I lost my mom when I was 6 years, and then she left with a baby who happens to be a 9-month-old baby. And then my dad was not around, so I had to take the responsibility with the help of my grandfather.
So you became a mother at 6?
Yeah.
Now, for how long did you take care of the child?
Well, I took care of him for consistently 3 years before my dad came back, and then we relocated with him to Lagos, and then we stayed with him for 2 years and then came back again. So apparently I took care of the boy for over 10 years.
Over 10 years?
Yeah.
Okay, alone or with your dad?
With my grandfather.
With your grandfather?
Yeah.
Okay. Growing up as a teenager, did you still stay with your grandfather, or you have any opportunity or a time you stayed with your father, or you stay on your own?
Yeah, I had an opportunity to stay with him. After I finished secondary school, then I thought I should proceed with I should go to the university to study a course that I desire to study. And then I felt my grandfather has tried well enough for me, throughout secondary school. And then I moved down to Lagos. Even then I was ill. So
okay.
I came to Lagos to stay with my dad, and then things didn't work out as I expected. So I had to, be on my own. Then he left us, myself and my younger brother. He got us an apartment somewhere around Alta. Yeah,
okay.
Somewhere around Alta. And then he paid for 6 months.
Alta in Ogun State?
Yes, in Ogun State. Because he worshipped in Winners.
Okay.
So he wanted to get us a place that was close to the church. So he paid for 6 months, and then he relocated with his wife to Abuja.
But no, he left you...
Myself and my younger brother.
How old were you at that time?
I was 19.
So your father left you at 19?
Yeah.
With your younger brother?
Yeah.
In an apartment?
Yeah.
Staying on your own?
Yes.
Okay. So for how many years? Okay, did he come back after 6 months?
No, since then till now, we've not heard from him. We've not had any contact, except sometimes I think 2 years ago when the last born had an accident, and then we needed some financial support, and some family said we should reach out to him if we could, raise some money for us to support the boy, and then we reached out to him. He promised he was going to do something, but then we didn't hear from him again.
So at the age of 19,
yes,
your father left you with your brother?
Yeah, brothers.
Yeah, two brothers. At the age of 19,
yeah,
he got an apartment for you.
Yes.
And you were there.
Yeah.
And since then up till now,
no,
you have not set your eyes on him.
No, we haven't.
Like
not
how
even
many?
a phone call.
How many years is that now?
19.
That's
yes,
about
that's
7 years.
7 years.
7 years
yes,
now.
Yes.
7 years now.
Yeah.
So from you became a mother at 6.
Yes.
Because your mother died.
Yeah.
Your father was not there.
Mm-hmm.
And when he came back, along the line. You stayed with your grandfather.
Yes.
Along the line, when you came to Lagos to stay with your father,
yeah,
he got an apartment for you and your brothers,
mm-hmm,
and he left, relocated with his wife.
To
and
Abuja.
For 7 years now, you have been on your own, and you have been. So that's how you got. And when you were growing up, all this time that you are not under any tutor.
Yeah.
The father was not there. You were staying alone with younger ones. how were you able to stay and you got this vision? And because it's rare.
Okay, well, I would say my grandfather did a very great job. My grandfather, gave me, told me several things about myself, and then he made me realize early in life that I have nobody and I have no excuse not to survive. So I had no choice than to, each time I think about those things he said to me and how he took care of me and his sacrifice, I just tell myself, Rachel, you can't disappoint God, you can't disappoint this man, you just have to keep. And then my perception about life too, life will not always give you what you deserve. You know what you want, then you go after it, no matter what happens. So I believe that if my parent has disappointed me in playing their roles rather in my life, I should not disappoint myself. And of course the children I'm going to bring into this world. So I just had to keep on. And then the whole experience I had growing up, I just felt like, there's this thing that just kept coming into my heart, that I know there are a lot of young people out there who would be in my shoes and would not be able to do the right thing. So that feeling kept coming, and then I started praying along, and then I just told myself that I should be able to voice, I should be able to be a strength to other people, I should be able to support younger people who are in my shoes.
Your shoes.
Who cannot, take up responsibility like I do, because I believe we don't have the same background and we don't have the same strengths, we don't have the same weaknesses. So I just took it upon myself with the help of God, reaching out to them, trying to help them discover who they are. Because one thing that keeps us going in life is our purpose, is who God wants us to be. So if you know who you are, if you know what God wants you to become in life, I think when other things are not working, when you remember that, okay, this is what God wants me to do, you just keep going.
You have
hope. Exactly. So that was just the major strength. And
wow, that's good. And from what I've gotten from you now, you got your passion from your experience.
Yes, my experience.
And you got a vision from what you have been through.
Of course, yes.
Now, you might ask, how many schools have you been to?
Wow, I can't count.
You can't count?
I can't count.
Okay, how many teenagers or young ones have you?
I can't count.
Are they up to 100?
Over, because the first school I started with, that was when I was 19 years.
Okay.
The first school I started with, it was not even school. I think they were all from streets, some of them from streets, some of them from church, mosque, some of them from schools, some of them from tutorial. So we just went there, telling them, okay, we have a program, we want you to come, and they all came. They were over 90.
Wow.
Yes, and they were consistent. They came for 3 days. We had it 3 days.
3 days.
Yes. So we have each topics we talk about on each of those days. And they came. They were over 90. I think they were 90 something. I have their records.
Wow. So it's hundreds.
Yeah, over hundreds.
Now, has there been any financial commitment from you?
Yes, actually.
Definitely a lot.
Yes, because when we started, I was just being too careful about the mindset people have about NGOs. People think you actually have NGOs because you want to raise funds. You get. So I just told myself that I'm not one of those people. Of course, whatever I have, I run with the support of few of the friends I have that believe in the vision, the support, and it's what I have, my personal money. I've never been to any company or any foundation for support before now.
Now, have you heard from there's any feedback from any of these younger ones?
A lot of feedback. Like, each time I remember those feedback, like, I'm very happy, I'm overwhelmed, especially the last one I had. I had in Ibadan. I didn't know students or those children were going through a lot of things. You know, I was not fully prepared for what I came across, because I had them pouring their hearts towards me. I had them crying. I had them, I saw them crying rather. I had them saying a lot of things that you wouldn't imagine. Like, we had a topic about pornography and drug addiction. Like, you wouldn't believe 90% of them were involved in pornography. 90% of them were already taking alcohol and drugs.
Wow.
Different
teenagers.
Teenagers. So they kept asking me questions. They kept telling me, when it was time for question and answers, from the questions you could tell what was on their mind, what they're going through, And then I had section where I had to counsel them individually. Sometimes they may not want to talk because of every other. So from there I was able to get what they were going through.
Okay, let me ask you this last question before we round up the discussion. As God, how do you see the results you get from Rachel and things now? Is it like, do you feel that God has compensated you for the years of pains, being alone with 6 years, being a 9-month-old child, your father leaving you at 19 with 2 brothers, staying alone, renting an apartment for you, the rent. How did you fix the rent?
I had to look for a job. I had to look for a teaching job.
It's not as if a guy was.
No. I was not raised up. I was not raised in that way.
So you looked for a job.
Yeah, I had to look for a teaching job.
Yes. To take care of your younger
ones. Yes.
Wow, that's good. So, do you feel God has compensated? God is compensating you with the testimonies and the feedback.
Yes.
God is compensating you.
Yes. It's beyond. It's not just money. It's not just the money. It's there's this fulfillment, like, everything you're doing, it's getting to people. Everything you're doing, people are getting blessed. I think for me, that's the most fulfilling aspect of this whole thing for me. That's just it.
Well, I've been speaking with Rachel Olamide on Achieve Success. As you have heard from Rachel got a passion and got a vision from her experience. Her mother died when she was 6 years and left a 9-month-old baby. The father was not available at that time, and she has to go and stay with the grandfather. After some time, the father showed up, and when he showed up, he stayed a while. He went to Lagos, and after some time, Rachel relocated to Lagos to meet the father. The father rented an apartment for Rachel when she was 19 with a younger 2 brothers, and he left. And for 7 years that he left Rachel, he has not set his eyes on his father. Just about 2 years ago, when the younger one had a challenge, and up to now, they didn't even hear from him. He was not available for the challenge. But one thing that's very important was that Rachel was not broken by experience. Rachel was not deterred. Rachel was not taken away by the experience. Rachel got vision and passion to work on young people, teenagers, and she started when she was 19. Now about 7 years now, when she started the 8, and she had actually touched the life of teenagers, young ones, in hundreds. Like you heard from her, the first one she did was over 90 people that came, and the last one she had at Ibadan. She had people, young ones that have been involved in pornography, drugs, addicts, and they were confessing and speaking. She saw them crying, and instead of her to be regretting, to be crying about her past, my father or complaining that my father left me, I don't have a mother, I don't have anything, she's not complaining. She got vision, she got passion. The essence of this Achieve Success today is to show you how you can get passion and vision for your success. You can get it from your experience. So don't complain about what you are passing through. Get vision, get passion. Till I come away the next time, I still remain your success coach, Wale Agbola. Bye for now.
Achieve Success with Wale Agbola. Watch the episodes on personal success, relationship success, career success and enterprise profit, leadership success on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, as he addresses critical issues affecting every aspect of human, social and spiritual development.